Hi guys, it's really nice to see you. I thought I'd come to you today, keeping it real in my garage. This is where it all happens. I make music in here and I see people in here. I teach in here and all sorts of creative things go on in here, including what I'm just about to do, which is give you a definition for something that popped out yesterday when I was reading this wonderful book, The Metaphysical Thesaurus and Metaphysical Dictionary. So, number 45 is adverse suggestion, a negative suggestion which results in dis-ease and failure, and may come from friend or foe, or from the individual with equal strength. I thought this was so profound because if you look at it, a negative suggestion which results in disease, well, we know that sound creates form, and what we say to ourselves or what other people say to us has an effect in our body or in our biofield or in our mind or in our spirit. So it's actually exceedingly important to realize what people are doing when they make suggestions to you. And this can result in failure and may come from friend or foe. Now we know that people we call friends sometimes come up with extremely adverse suggestions. And this might be on the back boiler for decades, and they might be reiterating it over and over and over again and reaffirming it. And then you're wondering sometime, wow, how did I get this pain in my whatever, or what's this in my knee or my foot? Why am I not moving forward? Why am I stuck here? Well, basically, an adverse suggestion is a curse. It's a curse. People curse. They curse you. I've been cursed. And people who really should know better, they don't understand that by making an adverse suggestion, it creates failure and disease in your life. But the good thing is that it has to come from somebody of equal strength. So people who are not of equal strength, therefore, cannot affect you. That's really, really important to understand. People who are not equal in strength cannot affect you. So it doesn't matter really what they say, or what they think they know, or what they're telling you to do. Makes no difference. They are not of equal strength, so therefore the adverse suggestion has no effect. But what is really, really important is to examine, firstly, what you're saying to yourself as an adverse suggestion. There's those mental patterns that keep repeating themselves over and over and over again until you really finally get the lesson. And the lesson isn't necessarily what you think it is. And the lesson definitely will not be what anybody else tells you it is. Nobody has the right to tell you what to do or how to do it, what to think or how to think it, or to remind you of your weaknesses or your foibles, or to judge you for the decisions that you make based on the knowledge, wisdom and understanding that you have within your sphere at this time. Whatever you decide to do creates your future and your past. Why? Because the future is now. The future is now and is yesterday. I'm reminded once again of T.S. Eliot's Burnt Norton. Time present and time past are both contained in time future and time future within time past. So it's all one thing, isn't it? But going outside of that, going outside of time into a different sphere, you can start to see how people may have affected you for years and years and years by making suggestions to you because they think they know best. They don't. Only you know what you need to do for yourself. And if other people don't like that, they can stick it. It's up to you. Be empowered, become who you really are. Lots of people in the past, in my past, on my journey towards this moment, have evaluated for me whether they've been soothsayers, psychics, mediums. When I was growing up, unfortunately, I had to go through all of that, but that's part of the journey. I don't subscribe to that these days, and got delivered from all of that stuff when I became a Christian. And now, understanding what the Christ is within is a whole different ballgame. It's got nothing to do with Christianity. So whether you're Jewish or Sikh, Hindu, Buddhist, or nothing in faith, it really makes no difference, because an adverse suggestion is an adverse suggestion no matter which language it's in. I'll read it again. Adverse suggestion. A negative suggestion which results in dis-ease and failure, and may come from a friend or foe, or from the individual of equal strength. So who in your life has been telling you this or that, influencing you from behind or wherever? Somebody that perhaps you've really respected and therefore taken on suggestions unconsciously. Well, it's time. It's time to take a good look at those curses, because they need to be broken. The good thing is that if the person is not of equal strength, as I've said, they cannot affect you. So you could look at that in the macrocosm and the microcosm. Let's look at the wider picture. What's going on in the world right now? Yes, it's pretty tough. If you're awake, you know what's going on. But is it going to affect you? Is that kind of evil going to actually affect you? Is it of equal strength to you? If you're a good person and you're focused on good things and you love and you live in peace and truth, then wisdom would tell you, from reading this particular definition, that it's not possible to be affected negatively by what's going on. It's only possible to be affected by beings or people who are of equal strength. So let's have a look and see where your weaknesses lie and fortify. That means taking responsibility for everything that you think and do and say. You take responsibility. If you're taking responsibility, nobody else can do that for you. Nobody else then can tell you that's right or that's not right, because you're already taking responsibility for the decisions that you make, which create your future and your past. Dis-ease, dissonance, discomfort, all the disses. It's really, really important, I think, to examine this. Don't diss, people say. Don't diss. No, don't. When people put down other people or make suggestions to you that other people are maybe not right for you, or not this or not that, or blah, 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 what's that based on? It's based on control and fear. Fear and control are the two worst things that people or beings can do to other people. And that's, in a sense, what is happening in the world, is fear and control of the masses. Well, you can make a different decision. The reason I'm saying this is because as I look at myself, I take responsibility for my actions, for my thoughts, for my words and my deeds. And I have compassion for other people's decisions. Perhaps they don't resonate with me, but that's okay. That's their decision. Trying to change somebody, trying to wake someone up, trying to do something, doesn't work. The only thing that we can do is be awake to ourselves and to God within us. That's all we can do. And once we've done that, our energy and our biofield and sphere, our hearts and minds and energy centers will all be in alignment with God's truth within us. And from that perspective, perhaps we can talk to other people from a point of empowerment, not disempowerment. So, people, firstly, watch what you're saying to other people. If you have said things that perhaps have not been great suggestions or great ideas for other people, and it's resulted in failure, take responsibility for that and ask for forgiveness and forgive yourself, and don't do it again. Perhaps it's the opposite. Perhaps it's been a positive suggestion and you've really encouraged people. I think that is beautiful. I know of one such person that I've met this week who is such a beautiful encourager of other people, and it makes such a difference in their lives. And these days, positive suggestions, loving, kind responses, random acts of kindness, those are the things that make a life happy and worthwhile, not adverse suggestions. So, let's examine that and let's clean up. Clean up our own rudder, that tongue that drives the ship. And if anybody has cursed you, well, just uncurse yourself. You can break soul ties with that person and send every single word back to where it came from. And do that within your own sphere of faith. Or, if you need any extra help with that, then you can contact me and I'll show you exactly what to do. I don't think that it's fair for people who should know better to curse other people consciously or unconsciously. So, here's to positive suggestions and a deeper understanding of the adverse suggestion. Look up the word adverse. Verse is to speak, isn't it? So, we know that sound creates form, so let's create beautiful forms. Let's rise above what we know is not our equal and think beautiful thoughts and kind thoughts and generous thoughts. Have compassion for those who've made a different decision to the one that perhaps you've advised. Maybe that compassion is best worn by ourselves.